precariously, laboriously, into the open rear bed of the cart as it jounced over the cobbles on Fishmonger's Row. "You've got to be fucking kidding," Rem muttered as he jogged. But there was no jest to be found. He saw clearly in the dim glow of the post lamps and windows lining the street that Torval had clawed his way up onto the cart bed, and now sought a clear path forward among the stout, sloshing jars of piss and shit that stood between him and the thief on the driver's bench. Thus far the thief hadn't looked over his shoulder even once. He just sat there, hunched on the driver's bench, whipping the horse on, keen to leave Rem well in his wake. Rem gave up. He had to take a moment, just a moment, to regain himself. He fell to his knees and drank in the night air like sweet, cool water in the midst of a vast desert. His lungs burned. His legs felt like warmed-over beef fat. "Get up," a voice inside him said. "Your partner needs you." Rem raised his eyes. The cart was just veering right out of sight, bending southerly now at the beginning of that long loop that would take it back toward the river on cobbled streets before it turned once more eastward onto a long, straight course toward the city gate. Rem considered where he was, where the cart was headed, where pathways were available to him, and then realized that there was a route capable of leading him straight into the path of the cart's flight. If he hurried, if he could only find— He saw what he required not 100 yards from him. A livery stable, all closed up for the night. "Eamon wept," he cursed, then struggled to his feet and ran a little farther. He managed to bridle his chosen mount quickly, but couldn't waste time on a saddle, nor on making the stabler aware that one of his stock had been commandeered by a desperate watch-warden. Before the present mess with the piss cart, the evening had been lovely. Deep into the month of Hannis, creeping toward the solstice, the nights in Yanara utterly devoid of the fog that so often shrouded the city in a choking, diaphanous haze. Now, that night had been like many of late, keen and crisp, clear as glass, the heavens strewn with a million tiny pinpricks of firelight, winking like diamonds thrown carelessly upon a jeweller's black velvet counting cloth, the moon fat as a silver pie, not a cloud to mar the majestic, vertiginous view. Rem and Torval had been on patrol along Fishmonger's Row, the long, wide boulevard that bisected the little harbourside peninsula known as Gaunt's Point. When they heard the hue and cry, the two set aside their heated exchange, an in-depth debate on which bird tasted best from a brazier of coals, pigeon or gull, and broke into a dead run toward the disturbance. The cries led them from the main thoroughfare into a maze of side streets nearer the waterfront and to a boxy dwelling tucked away between a tavern and a seaman's hostel. It was a home for the orphaned or abandoned children of mariners and fishermen, run by a kindly, middle-aged widow named Dorma. Smoke and flames poured from its opened lower windows, while local fire brigade volunteers shuttled in water to try to douse it. A few dozen people milled at the edges of the courtyard, coughing smoke from their lungs, most of them women and children. Their injuries seemed superficial for the most part, bruises, scrapes, some soot stains, and a lot of coughing. But there were 2 or 3 little ones struggling mightily for breath. The sight immediately turned Rem's stomach. Dorma stood in the middle of the street, soot-streaked, greying hair a tangled mess, banging 2 cookpots together and shouting. "Here we are," Torval spat. "Hang that racket." Dorma stopped beating the pots together, dropped them, and stepped forward. To Rem's great surprise, she laid hands on Torval, a move that, had she been a man, would probably have earned her broken fingers or a sprained wrist. "They've taken her! There's no time to lose!" "Taken who?" Rem asked as softly as he could. "Esther," the woman said, as if it were the clearest fact in all the world. "Recover her, I beg you! No reward shall be too great if you can return her." Torval gently shrugged off the woman's grip. "Who's this Esther? One of the children? Is she kidnapped?" "No," Rem said, still not sure why Dorma was in such a twist. "Esther's one of the goddesses of the panoply, Empress of the Abandoned, patron of beggars, orphans, and mendicants. Correct?" "Precisely," the woman said. "And she's gone. They've taken her." "Hold on," Torval said. "You're telling me your home is burning, and you've got hurt children all about, and you're in a twist about a bloody idol from your house shrine?" "The idol's hollow,"